Welcome to a quick guide about the Beastmen in Total War Warhammer 3. I'm going to try to make these guides somewhat timeless in that the patch notes will change what units are meta, but this is in general talking about what to do when you want to play as Beastmen, either in single player or multiplayer, Dom or land battles, or if you see them against you, right? So let's get right into it. You want to play the Beastmen, you're not super sure what they entail. The Beastmen campaign is a horde structure. You run around raiding, pillaging, burning things to the ground, getting the money that you possibly can, erecting herd stones to summon new units, and overall it's a momentum-based campaign. If you lose a few battles in a row, you might be in some troubles, so ambush, pillage, destroy for the Dark Gods. It's pretty fun if you're into that sort of thing. If you're into empire building, probably not the campaign for you. Playing as the Beastmen, you're usually trying to rely on your strengths in cavalry and monsters and speed. Generally, everything about the Beastmen is about speed. They're a very fast faction. They are low leadership, low armor. They don't really want to stay in a fight too long. It's going to be a lot about cycle charging, and Beastmen will win or lose a game in about 2 minutes flat on land battles. Domination mode, it'll be mostly about trapping your opponent in their base rather than standing on the points and holding them. Beastmen want to use your superior monsters and monsters infantry to storm through front lines, and you also have a lot of mobile options, including armor piercing and flying variants of things. Single entity monsters are fine. They're largely low armor, and again, the low leadership can really hurt them when fighting ranged factions. Centaurs are almost always an excellent light cavalry option, and you also have a couple chariot variants that are very useful as well. Not to mention the often underutilized Ungor Raiders. Whether you're playing domination or land battles, I would strongly recommend at least taking 2 of these guys in any build, just in case you need it. You never know when your opponent's going to form some sort of blob or box that you just can't get through, and a couple Ungor Raiders will pay for themselves in gold. As for Lords and Heroes, the Beastmen don't have a supreme variety. Only one of their Lords is flying. Most of their mount options are either on foot or chariot, and a lot of them are just melee combatants. You do have some Lords of Magic, but not a ton. As for the heroes, Wargor and Gorbel, again, similar to your Lord situation. Not a lot of mount options, just good fighters. If you are fighting against the Beastmen, you usually want to counter their mobile game in some aspect. You don't fear the Beastmen infantry. Beastmen infantry are overall not the best. It's not the focus of this faction. I doubt it ever will be. As I mentioned, when you're playing as the Beastmen, do have to watch out for occasional Ungor Raiders. They are stalked, and they're frequent ambushes with a lot of stalked units in their roster, actually. You also do have to watch out for Minotaur rushes. When they are in the meta, they hit hard, they hit fast, they keep coming at you till the game is over. Again, within about 3 minutes. Chaos Spawn are also useful, unbreakable. Manticores are big, scary monster pieces. Razor Herds do have armor piercing. So, their rush is deadly, but it's not the infantry you have to worry about. Ways to counter the Beastmen? Any way you can punish low leadership, low armor. A couple Lords of Magic that are useful against them would probably be Beasts. Even though they have access to Beasts, Beast is a pretty good counter to them. The Lore of Death is also quite good, spirit leeching down their lords who don't have a lot of regeneration besides Morgr. And the Lore of Death also has Doom and Darkness. Slaanesh could be quite good into them. Other factions with spells that lower leadership are pretty critical. Heavy cavalry can give the Beastmen a bit of problems. None of their cavalry options trade effectively into heavy cav, but you do have to watch out for getting run all over the map. Usually artillery is a good way to force the Beastmen to stick to a fight with you. So, yeah. If you're fighting them, you might lose the flanks. Just keep the minimal amount of cavalry you need to protect your artillery. Let the artillery carry them to you. And you do need something that can crack a single entity, because Torox is around, Doombulls are around, Kazrik is sometimes meta, Morgr is sometimes meta, so you always need something that can kill a single entity and rout the rest of the Beastmen. Lord Sniping is also a very effective tactic, as I've mentioned multiple times. Their low leadership means if the Lord dies, the rest of them will soon follow. Hope that helped. Roar!
Subscribe, yes.